Please join us in welcoming to the stage Senior Director of Digital Product Management, RJ Holder.
What's up, NAF Next? How we feeling? How we doing? It is great to be here in DC. Before I begin, one more time for the distinguished academies. That's great work, real great work. So I just want to start by saying thank you, okay, sincerely, a big thank you to all the educators in this room who, despite a busy workload, deadlines, long hours in school, still find time to adopt KnoPro in their classrooms. And it's a big deal. It's a very big deal. Your continued adoption is having a real impact on students. And as a result, more students are engaging with skill builders and challenges than ever before. I mean, just look at the numbers, right? When I stood on this stage last year in Colorado, we had roughly 17,000 students using KnoPro and 2,000 teachers using KnoPro as well. This year, I'm standing in front of you, NAF Next 2026. The number of teachers and students using KnoPro has increased significantly. Of course, it's a, yeah, please, yeah, 100%. I see you, Reedy. Of course, it's a team effort, so shout out to my colleagues here at NAF, but make no mistake, the real MVP in the KnoPro story are the educators. This is a win for you as well, so one more clap for y'all. When I stood on this stage last year, I talked about how we rewarded students over $220,000 to students, teachers, and schools. And this year, you can see we're moving in the right direction. We're headed to the moon, baby. As I reached out to many educators at the end of the school year to learn more about use cases in the classroom, right? What's working? What can we improve? I gotta tell you, as a former educator myself and now somebody who works on digital products, it's incredible to hear how KnoPro is being utilized across the country. I spoke with Bria Green from the ATL, where I live, I hear you, who serves in one of NAF's newest academies. She's using KnoPro to fill gaps and experiences that textbooks can't provide. Or how about Justin George, an educator in Dallas, Texas? Are we in the house? Texas, are we in the house? Justin is using skill builders every day with his students and emailed me personally with an idea to help students save time by reviewing skill builder submissions. Thank you, Mr. George. Lastly, one of the OGs when it comes to KnoPro adoption, Mr. Mark Godinez in Miami. He's been using KnoPro in every way possible and continues to adopt KnoPro in his classroom. Now listen, quick side note, I've been to Miami 2 times to do presentations, and both times he stood up and tried to take over my presentation. He's that passionate about this product. Thank you, good sir. I could go on, and yeah, give him some love, thank you. I could go on and talk about all the great examples of how KnoPro is being adopted in the classroom, but I'll just stop by saying thank you. We really appreciate it. So as I mentioned a minute ago, the cash prizes continue to flow to students, teachers, and schools. But this money does not come from the sky, and money does not grow on trees. NAF and KnoPro are fortunate to have amazing sponsors that allow us to provide these rewards. Today, I have a very special guest with me who can shed some light on the perspective of a KnoPro sponsor. Ladies and gentlemen, located right here in DC, please give a warm welcome for Aries Scales, Senior Vice President of Social Responsibility and Global Impact at NAREIT. Please.
All right. Hello. Where's the energy at? Y'all get happy to hear about money and KnoPro and our students?
These chairs are nice, right? This must be velvet. I don't know.
Velvet.
Nice. Welcome, Aries. Thank you for joining me here today. I thought it'd be very nice for the audience to hear from one of our great sponsors. For those who don't know, NAREIT sponsored KnoPro's first real estate challenge back in November of 2025. Fantastic. So students were asked to come up with a REIT idea that benefits their community and builds wealth for everyone. And on the screen, you can see our winners who came from Florida, Michigan, and New York. Give it a quick clap for our winners. So super excited to have you here today. I got just a handful of questions. Okay. The first one, in case individuals here in the audience are not familiar with NAREIT, can you please shed a little bit of light on what your organization does?
Sure. How many of you all currently invest in some type of 401k or something of that sort? Can I see a show of hands? Fantastic. Probably every single one of those hands that went up has a REIT in that portfolio. And so at the end of the day, people think about REITs. We're real estate investment trust, and that's commercial real estate that owns, operates, and finances commercial real estate all around the world. So we are advocating on their behalf, on your behalf, with congressional members, with institutional investors, and we just want to make sure that people understand that REITs are more than just buildings. They are covering 13 different sectors and a great way to set yourself up for retirement.
You say that again. It's been great for my portfolio.
Mine too.
Question 2, what made NAREIT want to partner with KnoPro and sponsor a challenge?
Okay, so I want to share a fun fact. I'm going to air some little dirty secret. The first time NAF applied to our funding, they weren't selected. But I think that they're an amazing story of not letting a setback deter you, right? And they were able to come back stronger. They were able to come back more aligned and more clear about what it is that they wanted to do as it relates to our interests in making sure that we are exposing as many people as possible along the entire pipeline to career opportunities and investment opportunities in the industry. And so when I learned about KnoPro, it wasn't even just me. When our whole entire review committee heard about it and saw it in action, we were like, we know that that right there is a partner we need to be with. So it was pretty easy once they got back the second time.
I love that. That's okay. Fantastic. So when it comes to KnoPro challenges, it's all about building really awesome projects that students can shine on their resume. When you think about how valuable are real-world projects when hiring early talent, entry-level positions?
Yeah. So I love the saying, I can show you better than I can tell you. And it's funny to be here on this stage, well, not funny, but interesting to be here on this stage, because before I came into this industry, I'm gonna be honest, I had never even heard of a REIT. I did not know what a REIT was. And now that I'm in this industry, I really drank the Kool-Aid, not just because of the opportunities and the benefits of REITs, but seeing all of the different career paths and opportunities for young people, for seasoned people, for all people. And so when I think about, these real world projects, the reason that they're so important is because oftentimes you have a lot of us who have never even had this opportunity or this exposure. And so when you can be exposed to something, but not just exposed to it, but giving hands-on guidance from those who are in the industry, connecting curriculum and education and that kind of evidence, I don't know, there's no words for it. I think it speaks for itself.
It does. Lastly here, we've got amazing educators and school officials and school leaders in the audience. What message would you like to leave them with today?
It's not just because I'm in the real estate business, but I want to lean in on a word, which is build. I think about the educators who came into my life who either tore me down or built me up.
Hello.
And when we think about, I don't know what it's like being in a classroom these days. I can't even imagine. But what we do know is that our students in our communities are dealing with a lot. And so you can be that one person. I know it sounds cliche, right? But that one person who's bringing something totally different to them by way of values, exposure, support, love, et cetera, that they're not getting at home or getting in their community. I did come from a great household. However, there were things that my counselors and certain teachers were able to invest in me and expose me to and get me to believe in that I couldn't see or feel at home or in the neighborhood I grew up. So my piece of advice is to continue to please show up for our young people in ways that build them up, that support them going beyond what they currently know. And obviously, through KnoPro, we're doing that.
Absolutely. Well, thank you for joining me here today. One more time for Eris Scales from NAREIT. Before we leave the stage, I want to leave you with a final message, and it's 2 words. It's keep going. The work that you do, it matters. We've got an amazing lineup this fall in terms of challenges. We have new features rolling out this fall, more prizes, more raffles, more money in your students' pockets. I'll see you this fall. Thank you for your time.